Everything ready? So it looks better. Very good.
Yeah. Hello, how are you
Okay.
doing?
I'm very well, Justino. How are you?
I'm doing great too. I feel very excited today.
Very good. So, what time is it there?
Now it's 7:25 a.m. here.
Ah, very good. It's 9:25 on Saturday evening here.
Saturday evening. That sounds great.
So tell me a bit about yourself, Justino. Are you married?
Yes, I am married. I have a family with my wife. We live in Asunción. I have a daughter.
Oh, and how old is your daughter?
My daughter is 13 years old.
Ah, very good. And she's going to school?
Yes, she's going to school.
Ah. Um, so, um, what sort of work do you do?
Well, I am a CEO of a company in total.
Wow, 8 companies.
A company in total, yes.
So, you must be very busy then.
Yes, I really very busy every day. I hope not to burn out myself.
And so, what sort of businesses do you have?
Well, I have many businesses. Mainly, we work more on providing food for the school student, and other. I have other company that import food from Spain, like olives, mushroom, and other things, and we provide the main restaurant here in Asunción, for example, Pizza Hut, Domino's Pizza, and other renowned brands.
Ah, very good. And so, with the other food, what other food companies do you have?
Well, we produce, I have a rice mill too. We produce rice and we export to Chile and Brazil and for the local market here.
And I saw you've got one company about almuerzo, about lunches.
Yes, I have a company that provide lunch for school students, but now it's not possible because of the coronavirus. We convert into food kit and we deliver them in their own home.
Uh, and so, with the food that you deliver, what sort of food are you delivering for the schools?
Well, the sort of food is maybe many kind of menu, more than 20 per month. But now we need to convert in rice, noodles, and beans, and maybe salt, milk, maybe flour, and other stuff. I don't remember exactly because there are more than 10 ingredients in total.
No, very good. And so, I seem to recall your family has a farm as well up in the country.
Yes, they have a farm in the countryside. I really like the countryside.
So, what sort of farm is it?
Well,
What do they grow?
it's a quite big farm. This farm is very amazing because it's surrounded by strand and hills and other nature, like a big forest, and which is the wonderful sizing there. The landscape is very beautiful. It's amazing.
I saw at one stage you had a big meal there in the wood-fired, the clay oven. That there's a tatakua.
Yeah, yeah. This is the name in Guarani because we in Paraguay we had two languages. One of them is the Spain, but people from the countryside speak Guarani too. Tataqua is a mud oven, which is very good because we usually enjoy meals. We usually do a meal with my father-in-law in the Tataqua. For example, pork. The Paraguayan sopa and the Paraguayan chipa, which is a very traditional food, and we really enjoy not only the food, but we sharing with them is a very good thing. I usually go every weekend because I usually really feel relaxed when I'm in the countryside doing many activity with my family.
And so what type of farm is it, with animals or with crops?
Well, we usually work more on cattle, cow, and maybe small part is a crop too, because we
Yeah,
need to feed the animals, and of course we need to see, we need to use plants and other stuff to feed the animals.
yeah. So is the farm close to you?
It's not so close and not so far. It's about 100 kilometers from Asuncion. It usually takes me to get there about 1 hour and half minute.
Yeah, good. But at the moment, you can't go there because of the coronavirus?
Yeah, the coronavirus is a big issue. It's not easy for us to move from Asuncion to the countryside because there are many restrictions, and now it's better to stay home in some cases because it's not easy for us because there are many infected people, and to avoid contagious, it's better to stay home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And now tell me a bit about why you're learning English.
Well, I had many reasons to learn English. I really love the English language because there are many information I can understand better. If I learn English, I will understand better the many information. I really love to work on renewable energy. I went to the Canton Fair in 2017, and I don't really work with interpreter or translator, and I did on my own. And to get business is I prefer to do directly without any translator, and that's why maybe the the most important thing for me to work on renewable area because I want to chip in with the environment to reducing the carbon footprint. This is a good way. Another reason because I want to teach my wife and my daughter. My wife doesn't speak at all English, and we usually go to the United States and other countries with people speaking English, and I prefer to speak in the local language, which is English in this case. And I want to teach her to speak English, to encourage her to speak English. But my daughter speak know more about English because she studied in the school English as a subject, but maybe she needs to practice more to speak because speaking is a tricky thing, especially
Yeah,
for non-speaker. You always stuck when you try to say something. That's why maybe the other reason to teach them and to have a good level of English.
yeah. Well, good luck with that because I like going to Italy and Spain, and I can speak a little bit of Italian or enough Italian and Spanish, and I have tried to encourage my wife to learn Spanish and Italian and she just refuses. She says, "No, you can speak it. I'll just sit back and look pretty." So hopefully you will get your wife to to learn to speak some English.
There are
So
some there are some good expression, and I break some barrier even for me. For example, an old dog never learn a new trick. But in my case, I'm quite old dog, but I learn a new trick, and I break the barrier because you always need to be like a open mindset. You never know.
yeah,
You always need to learn a new language because not only more for the language, but because it's healthy thing, because it can help your brain to stay healthy.
yeah. So what sort of techniques have you been using to learn English?
Well, I made the decision of my line when it was Black Friday. I bought a course from Fluent in 3 months, and it really worthy for me because they account what you are doing is really special to learn a new language, and I started using many resources that they recommend me to me, like Italki, Cambly, and even I make a trial with Lingoda. And finally, I met many friends like you, like Lorena, and other people, and we started exchanging our language. The most important thing was to overcome my fear because is when you need to make a decision to speak from the very first day was the biggest thing that I did before, and now I really feel better because it's only 90 day the challenge, and today maybe it's the 90 day, and as you see, I can speak my target language, and I feel very happy because I achieved a thing that it seemed impossible for me in the past. But now I'm pretty sure that you can achieve your goal if you are really a determined person. That may be the most important thing. And I discovered that the consistency is the key to success. And consistency means you had a good habit. In my case, instead of learning a new language, I try to use it, and I accept my mistake in some case because mistake is the necessary step that you need to do to achieve something and trying to improve. And as I told you before, you need to have an open mindset. Maybe it's the good thing to learn something new. It's not always easy, is sometimes challenging for me, but overcoming my fear is the best thing that I learned from this course. And it's 90 days not enough, but it's the maybe the momentum. I need to use it. I need to keep talking in English maybe every day as a part of my habit to stay in shape with the English knowledge.
Yeah. One thing I really admire is the way that you have taken on phrasal verbs in English, because that's something that um, it it's very hard for people who don't normally speak English to be able to understand a lot of our phrasal verbs. So you've done a really good job there.
Sent to God, I really work on it and on learning phrasal verb because I realize that most of the native speakers use a lot phrasal verb, and I realize if you really want to enjoy a good series, you need to learn phrasal verb. That's why I decide to watch Friends series. It helps me a lot because here I try to watch this series with subtitle in English and maybe a little in Spanish too. But after that, I try to study line by line all the phrasal verb that they use in the series, And after that, I try to play the video only with subtitle in English and finally without subtitle. And I almost understand today 100% of the series, and I really enjoy at the same time because learning English is not to be painful. You need to enjoy when you learn a language because this is maybe the main things to do to maintain your momentum. Because if you don't like it, maybe you lose it. And
Yeah,
in my
true.
case, I try to fake it until you make it. It's an expression that I really like. That's why I do it now because I try to fake it until I make it. You never know when is the day, when is gonna be the day when I can make it. But I'm on the way now, and I really feel confident. I really going to achieve it.
I think you've done extremely well, Justino, extremely well. Um, and I think the idea of needing to learn how to speak English so that you can become more involved with renewable energy is great. So you've got a company as well with renewable energy?
Yes, I had a company and we import many things from China, like a solar panel, inverter, and battery too to store the energy. And I had two houses here in Paraguay. One of my house here is in Asunción, and I feed almost 80% of my entire house with solar panel. And the other house I have in the countryside, and I feed 95% in total with solar panel. And it really worked very well, and I start selling to many people, and all the people I really feel uh, very good with the use of solar panel because you save a lot of money using solar panel and you contribute with the environment. That's what I really like the most about solar panel, which is made me feel very happy about this result.
It's a good thing to do. Good for the environment, good for the future, good for your daughter and her future.
Yeah, yeah. I really happy about that. Yeah.
And and you like playing sports?
Yeah, I usually play a sport like a volleyball. I usually share with my friend playing volleyball, and after that we usually make a delicious barbecue and share some red wine with them and listening to some music in English. And I I really don't want to miss the ball again, and I try to use the English as much as I can. And now I realize that I need to nail it, my English.
And music, you like some Australian music, which is good.
It's really good. I really enjoy the Australian music. For example, Air Supply was a very good music for me. It's kind of romantic. It's kind of sad, but I really enjoy, and I try to learn all the lyrics from Air Supply songs too.
Oh, very good. So, what else would you like to tell me about?
Well, I maybe I always try to have a good result using the habit. For me, habit is the key. I usually wake up very early in the morning, 5 a.m., 5:10, because excuse for me is not so important because people always complain they don't have enough time to learn a new language. But in my case, I try to sort my time and reducing many things. For example, watching new, which is very negative sometimes, and I try to use this time to learn a new language like English. I usually wake up very early. I prepare to go to work, and I dress. I always dress up. I always use suit because you need working as a CEO. It's very important to dress up. and I prepare my coffee and my mate because Paraguayan people really enjoy drinking mate. Mate is prepared with tea and hot water, and we really enjoy because of the mate stay you awake. This is important thing. And I try to study from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. every day, at least 1 hour of speaking in English. And at midday, I try to listen in some English podcasts, and at night, I try to watch some video in English too. That is the way that I try to learn the most my target language.
I'm very impressed on the yay nay reports. You always seem to be saying that you've listened to the Economist podcast, which I think it's probably above my head. Some of the things that they talk about in there, but it's the sort of thing that is very important and interesting for you. And I congratulate you on being able to listen to that. You do a great job.
I appreciate it. The economy not only for me to learn a language, but for me, the information is very important to make a good decision. And the economies, they always talking about medicine economies around the world, but now it's not so very good because of the coronavirus. But crisis is not always a bad thing. For many people, it's a chance to grow. And in my case, I try to milk it out all the price and try to convert it something better for me. For example, a good thing that happened for me is, for example, to learn a new language. Because of the lockdown, I have more time staying home and studying a language. It was very good for me. Hopefully, the people going to discover soon a good vaccine or an antibodies to tackle this big issue for humanity.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Justino, I think you've done extremely well. I think you've done more than 15 minutes. I congratulate you. And I thank you very, very much for all you've done to help me as well.
Thank you very much for you, Jeff. And I really ready to go to talk with you in Spanish. I hope you are going to do it. You're going to do it a great job too.
Thank you.
See you soon, Jeff.
Gracias.
Bye bye.
Bye.